Xavi is a heavy supporter of Victor Font. But then for the well-being of the club, there are certain information that, even if it's true, you have to know when to disseminate that information for the good of the club. One of Victor Font's campaign message was to bring Xavi into the administration or the management of the Barcelona team. So I think they are together.
this video, the numbers matter.
Yeah,
you know. So
exactly.
please subscribe and support
football.
him and
Yeah.
support him. Subscribe.
Laporta versus Xavi Hernandez, issues at Tottenham Hotspurs. Joao Pedro playing for the Brazil national team. Will he be a main head, the main focal point for Brazil at the World Cup? This and more issues on the Raditz Back on Ajor Talks Football. I'm here with my amazing guest today. We have a special daddy in the midst. Oh, don't chuckle, my brother. Every day, anywhere, I go make everybody know, say, if it's true you, I do coaching for Lagos. If it's true you, you inspire my dream to become a coach. You are welcome.
Charlie, thank you very much. Since it's my first time here, I want to say good, or hi to everyone. I don't know when you're going to watch it, so hi to everyone. And yeah, I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
And the man who is trending on Twitter since the past 24 hours, he say Pep be overrated. Special request, we have Dices. Hey, no, Dices were two different bomb.
Yeah.
We have
Jesse
with us. Jesse, welcome.
Charlie, it's good to be back.
Charlie, you are trending.
Oh, you see, you can't get here, Joe.
No, it's you now. I can't see you. And our regular, consistent, doing very, very amazingly well, Pandit Kwame. Last week we had K, and myself, Kendrick. But guys, expect different faces for now because we want to sift through and get the best. It's a community, so if anybody's available, we just bring the person around to talk football. Let's dissect and break down football in a different way. But as time goes on, we'll have our regular pundits and your favorites. A time will come and ask you choose who you want to have on our Monday running back show. Then we can go. This video is proudly sponsored by Jazara. It's not yet in Ghana. We will launch in Ghana very, very soon. But those who have been watching me from the UK, please do well to get the link in the description and the comment section and shop with Jazara in the UK for now. My name is King Ajor. Let's run the show now. Let's start from Barcelona. And yesterday, before most of us slept, we saw Xavi issue an interview, and it was very interesting. And now they're saying Xavi versus Laporta. First of all, let me start with you, Jesse. You're a Madrid fan. From a Madrid point of view, do you feel like Laporta going again to win this election, to become the president of Barcelona, it's good for the club? How well do you feel he has run the club? And Xavi is saying, number one, he felt like his sack was unfair. Number two, he asked for Zubimendi, they brought him Romeo. And number three, he wanted to bring Messi back to the club, and Laporta rejected. Have you seen these issues going on? What your take on it?
First of all, I'm a Barcelona fan, and let me clear that one.
You're a Barcelona fan?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you're a Madrid fan.
No.
Interesting.
I believe in communication. There are certain things that are very important. One of the major things that are important is the timing of information is as important as the content of information. For someone who has been a club legend like Xavi Hernandez, I believe that he needs to know better when it comes to communication of information. This is a period of time where Barcelona is in fine groove, going into the UCL round of 16. Things are going well for Hansi Flick's Barcelona. And then at a crucial time at this, you come to say something like this. I think it is his own political something. I think everybody knows, it is common knowledge that Xavi is a heavy supporter of Victor Font. But then for the well-being of the club, there are certain information that, even if it's true, you have to know when to disseminate that information for the good of the club. For all you know, all this noise going around has a huge influences on the field of play. Because Rafinha's name was mentioned, Pedri's name was mentioned.
I read the stories.
Exactly.
He picked up some of the players in a positive way and said they are still in contact, and he encourages them and things.
He also said that they wanted to they told Rafinha and then Pedri that he wanted them out of the team.
Wow.
These are certain issues that when you let them enter into the camp of the team, it has negative influences on the team going into game. So whether Xavi is true or not. I wasn't there. But then I believe that it's very important. He times the season at which he needs to say certain information out there. Yeah.
Okay, but do you also feel like he's supporting Font with what he said?
Yeah. I think it's clear. From last election to the current election, Victor Font has been a huge fan of Xavi, and then vice versa also. Even before Xavi came into coaching this Barcelona team, one of Victor Font's campaign message was to bring Xavi into the administration or the management of the Barcelona team. So I think they are together.
Can we look at the bad timing?
No, I don't think it's bad timing when you look at it from a political point. I mean, he's doing politics. They are all doing politics. Laporta is also doing his own politics. But I feel like Xavi is doing everything Xavi is pained. And I understand him because the way he left was really, really hard to take. I mean, he had just won the league.
Yeah.
Then he was looking to build something. You see, Xavi joined Barcelona at a time where they were in a very tough space.
Yeah.
Financially, they were not right. And he kept the club afloat. I think he exceeded expectations by winning that league title. He felt he could build on it. Then he was let go in that manner. So I understand Xavi from his point of view. And look, the timing, I disagree with Jesse a little bit, saying Barcelona are in good form. No, they are also in campaign mode. Campaign mode. And yeah, so he needs to campaign for his man. And I feel like this is going to be a huge factor in the election. You remember Victor Font he contested the last one and lost. Yeah. He stands a better chance this time because people are angry with Laporta. But if we look at the issues and we speak about why Messi didn't come and why they didn't get some of the players he wanted, that is why I felt he was unfair to Laporta. The club doesn't have money. Messi coming in was going to be a huge financial burden on them.
Yeah.
You understand? So when he says it that way, like they blocked it to, let's say, which word is this? Maybe they blocked it to sabotage him. I don't think that was the reason. There's no one related to Barcelona who will be against Messi coming. Yeah. Messi coming. But it was at a point where Laporta needed to be a president. He didn't need to be a fan. He needed to be a president. He's looking at his finances. They just don't make sense. Bringing Messi back would have broken everything. Maybe where I side with Xavi on that is he's saying the information they relayed to Messi's camp or the other players was he wanted them out. Maybe that's why I understand him a bit. So I understand he being pained that way. But for them not bringing him back, it wasn't a sabotage on Xavi per se. The club doesn't have money. Okay. Yeah.
Before I go to Kwame, Jesse, Font is saying that to him, a lot of the business deals that Barcelona did doesn't make sense to him. Wow. Like example, this kind of the deals that we're doing with getting money into the club, it doesn't work for him. He feels like the club is running at a loss. So when he comes, he's going to cancel most of the deals that, like with Spotify and stuff like that. Do you seem to agree with that?
I think it's a political talk. And then when you are from opposition, everything you do, you take the position of antagonizing. And then I think that is what happens in politics. If you look at where Laporta picked Barcelona's finances from the era of Bartomeu, if you look at the depth of issues with Barcelona's finances, you could see that a lot of harm had been done to Barcelona. Recently, he came out and they realized that the salary gap of Barcelona has even widened. It shows you the kind of work, the kind of input that Laporta has done. Laporta himself is a politician. Time in, time out, he's going to say something that is not even true. That is about politics. There's propaganda in politics. But then you cannot take the fact away from Laporta that he's doing the work. And then we are seeing improvement. Whether you like it or not, Laporta picked a Barcelona that was in financial trenches from the era of Bartomeu, and things are now better than it was before. So we need to give accolades to Laporta.
Kwame, Barca fans are really supporting Laporta. Your take on this whole brouhaha, then we move on.
My take on this whole brouhaha is there's one question people are not really asking. What if Xavi bringing up Messi is a campaign to as it were, appeal to the electorate, appeal to the delegate, appeal to the man, because you know how Messi is in the eyes of Barcelona as a club, from the socios to the fans to the players alike. So I have a funny feeling that Xavi brought this up to big up Victor Font, because Victor Font already was of the view that keep the guy, keep Messi, and let us run all this merchandise deals and all of that has been going on even throughout the Bartomeu time. Another take in this issue is this election would be very important, not just for Barcelona, but for Spanish football. And what do I mean by that? In the next 5 to 10 years, that's what in terms of long term, because I'm hearing rumors that in 2027, Florentino Perez is going to step down as Real Madrid president. And then there's Atletico Madrid, who are making all sorts of business deals. The Metropolitano recently, they signed it with Saudi. Riyadh Air is now the Riyadh Air Metropolitano.
Yeah.
And they, I think it was Apollo, one of these big American hedge funds. No, not even a hedge fund, but like corporations, are one of the stakeholders in Atletico Madrid right now. So they have so much money to spend. So looking at both Barcelona and Real Madrid, the actions of both clubs could steer Spanish football in one direction or the other. Could it be a 3-horse race in the next 5 to 10 years? Or will we see maybe Atletico Madrid rising up to becoming the dominant force? So this election and also events at Real Madrid, I'm looking at it in a general perspective as far as Spanish football is concerned.
Okay, and trust me, it's very important to talk about this because in as much as things are happening on the field of play with Barcelona, Yamal scoring the winning goal at Bilbao, this politics affects the club in a positive or negative way. So it is really worth talking about. But I'm happy that Barca fans are rallying behind Laporta for him to win again. But let's move on. Just let me come to you again. Let's move to the camp of Chelsea Football Club and their informed Joao Pedro, aka Kwauke. I think I was asking myself in the weekend, how every touch of him is brilliant, it's like gold. The World Cup is coming. Do you foresee or do you think Carlo Ancelotti, in his own wisdom, will make him the number 9, the starting number 9 at the World Cup for Brazil? And will it be worth it for him to be there? And who is he competing with for that role?
I think this is very interesting because if you look at the number 9 rule associated to the Brazilians, it is a huge feat that has been left. And since Ronaldo Nazario, I've seen a lot of number 9s come into play. I've seen Adriano, I've seen a lot of them come into play, but almost just a few of them have been able to fit in the shoes of Nazario. If not at all, I don't think any of them has been able to stand up to the task that Ronaldo Nazario set for the Brazilian number 9 position. So going by this, I think that the number 9 position in Brazil has become a major problem that needs to be solved. Looking at Pedro Neto's numbers from Fluminense, Joao Pedro numbers from Fluminense, to Watford, to Brighton, and to Chelsea, I can say that comparatively, Chelsea is giving off better numbers, yet that is so far. That tells you the kind of way Chelsea has been deploying Joao Pedro. When we are talking about number 9s in current football that know how to go about link-up play, you cannot talk about number 9s without talking about Joao Pedro. He does that brilliantly. Looking at Carlo Ancelotti's side, the question that you want to ask is that, yes, he's flourishing in Chelsea, but is he going to flourish in Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil?
Yeah.
Then you have to look at the kind of system Carlo Ancelotti plays in the Brazilian national team and how a profile like Joao Pedro is going to fit into it. Unfortunately for me, I've not had the benefit of watching a lot of Carlo Ancelotti's matches in the Brazil setup. But just the few ones that I have watched using Richarlison, how he deploys Richarlison is he makes him drop deep and do a lot of link-up play with the midfielders. That gives the wingers a lot of space to be able to attack. So yes, Joao Pedro is going to be very integral for Brazil's national team. However, his numbers are going to reduce in terms of goal scoring.
Okay.
Because if
at the World Cup,
if he's going to be dropping deep most of the time, free spaces for the wingers. So the spotlight mostly is going to be on the likes of Vinicius Jr. and the rest of them. With Richarlison, he wasn't deploying the link-up play very well. So I believe that with the kind of quality that Joao Pedro is showing and the numbers that he's showing in the team, if he continues with the consistency to the World Cup, I think he's fit to be given that opportunity to play as a
does he
number
start
9.
for you, in your opinion?
I think he does.
Okay.
Because I believe that when they are going into the World Cup, it's momentum. It's who is in fine form, who is given the numbers. Comparatively with him and Richarlison, I think he's ahead of Richarlison currently. There are some other guys in the Brazilian league that are also coming up. But in terms of pedigree, in terms of exposure, in terms of who is playing under pressure, I think Joao Pedro fits in for me.
They can come in for me. What your take on this?
Look, Joao Pedro is a curious case for me. Up until a month ago, I hadn't been surprised by anything he was doing. I felt like he was going on course. If I should explain that, nothing he did surprised me. Like, this is what I expected of him.
Okay.
But in the last month, I've seen a prolific side of him that has surprised me. Because I've never seen him as a prolific striker. I've always seen him as a 10 to 15 goal striker, goal a season striker. But it looks like, for per his trajectory, he's going to surpass that and surpass that very well. And that is what is going to be surprising. But then again, I was thinking about it and I'm like, why am I surprised? There's a player whose basics are good. But then again, I always underestimated his ability to score those numbers because of what I had seen from him at Watford and Brighton. But let's not forget, one mistake I always make personally with Joao Pedro is I always forget he's young. He's 23, going to 24.
Interesting.
You understand? And at this age, players can switch up in their numbers. So
24,
I was thinking about it. He's 24, right?
24, yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, look, he's at an age where he needs to be hitting these peak numbers, and he's hitting the numbers. So I just feel like there's more to be seen from him. There's more to be seen from him in terms of he raising. Look, the only thing left with him is his hunger for goals. Yeah. That is the only thing I see left with him. His hold-up play is good. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He can pass it, and he can link up with his wingers. So when he adds the numbers to it, he becomes a perfect, the world-class striker. You understand? So I do want, personally, to speak on Joao Pedro in isolation. I do want to see more from him in the coming games and maybe in the coming years. As to whether he will start for Brazil at the World Cup, I know coaches, and I know them being loyal to certain systems that work for them.
Not to cut you, he really admires and gets inspiration from Richarlison.
Yes.
I was surprised. I was also at the point,
Exactly.
like, wow, Richarlison, who is still at Spurs, right?
He's still there. He's still at Spurs.
But
Yeah.
he really idolizes the guy. I was like, okay, interesting.
See, he's been in and out of the team, but yeah. But the thing with Richarlison and Brazil is that he performs for them anytime he's called upon. But I do think in the coming games, the match friendlies, it is going to tell us a lot more about what Brazil are going to do at the World Cup. I believe with the current form of Joao Pedro, he's going to get opportunity in those games. And if he does and he performs, he's going to start. But for now, Brazil are in a tough space with their number 9 options because the normal starters for them in the last 4 years are all not in good form.
Yeah, poor. Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus has been injured and he's currently 3rd choice at Arsenal. Richarlison is 2nd choice at Spurs. Even 3rd, if you want to count Colomani, he's 3rd. You understand? So I do think there's an opening there for Joao Pedro, but he's not done it for Brazil before.
Okay.
So he will need to prove that. And I'm sure with that, if he doesn't get injured, he'll get his opportunity in the match collapse. And then we'll see where he goes from there.
Okay. Will you make a case for Thiago?
Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago.
Oh yeah, I mean, with the impact he's made for the Bees and the Premier League, but then I have a funny feeling that he might not be called up. I have a
Called up at all?
yes.
Wow.
I have a funny feeling. I personally won't be surprised.
All these EPO goals?
Yes,
Wow.
I personally won't be surprised if he doesn't make the World Cup because, like Likem said, Ancelotti being loyal to a certain system and being loyal to Richarlison being tried and tested. Here's Igor Thiago who just hit 17 goals in the league, which is quite surprising because he just came off an ACL last season. Remember, he missed like about 90% of the season.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been, how let me say it, he hasn't been effective, let me put it that way. When he hasn't, I don't even think he's had a Brazil call-up yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And also, it might sound crazy, but the club he's playing for, Brentford, here's a Brazil, the Brazil already, the media and all of that. Imagine hearing a Brentford player has been called up for Brazil. How would they take it? They'll probably be leading agendas against him because they snapped the local players. It's similar to Ghana here. So I wouldn't be surprised in the very least if he's snapped off a World Cup call-up. I will not be surprised if he doesn't get called up.
Okay. Guys, Charlie, subscribe. I mean, you've seen variety on Ajot Talk Football. When we come in with a debate, we come in hard. When we sit to talk proper football with no arguments and just opinions being shared and spread, you have it too. So please do all to subscribe. Let's touch on this sensitive topic. And I always go hard on the players at Tottenham Hotspur. I think it's always them first to blame and not any coach. I think for the first time in a long while, an interim coach might be even sacked to spoil the record. It's funny, but let me start with you, Likem. Your biggest issue with the Spurs team in general. Biggest, quick, like, let's know.
When I say this, people think I'm making excuses for them, but the injuries they've suffered will affect every team.
Oh, Likem, is that an excuse again?
No. The injuries are tough. And look at what happened.
Look at what
happened on Thursday. As soon as they hope to get, they go ahead 1-0, they are hoping to see this win out and then get Romero back to play at Anfield with Van de Ven. Now, Romero returns for the Anfield game and Van de Ven is off.
He's off.
He's off. You understand? So these things happen. The injuries haven't been good, but ultimately, I think the coaching appointments have been poor.
Okay.
I mean, the Igor Thiago one, the Igor Tudor. What I don't get is this. I think before appointing Igor Tudor, Spurs didn't understand the position they were in.
Yeah.
Because if they understood they were in a relegation battle, they'll go for a Premier League tested coach who could help them escape relegation. Now, for some years back, when Everton understood the position they were in, even that appointment was made in February. They understood, no, where we are going to be in a relegation scrap. They appointed Sean Dyche. And it was really, really bad that they only got saved on the final day of the season. Yeah. Spurs didn't. I'm not sure Spurs understood that with the appointment of Igor Tudor. So Igor Tudor, well, he's had a good record escaping relegation in other countries, but the Premier League is a different ball game altogether.
It's a different lion.
So I felt like after noticing and accepting the mistake of Thomas Frank's appointment, they could have gone with an experienced EPL manager who knows how to take a team out of the relegation battle. And that was where they missed it. There are rumors about him leaving. I think if they lose against Liverpool, he will be sacked. Yeah. And it's a high possibility that they are going to lose against Liverpool.
He will spoil the record. Interim coach Pan, they can't sack him.
But there's an interim coach visa, because let's not forget, Forest are on their third.
Forest are on their third. Wolves are on their third.
Yeah. They are on their third manager this season, so let's not forget. But for Spurs, it's going to be a tough one. I see them staying. The game against Liverpool is lost. In my eyes, it's going to be lost because Liverpool, after losing to Wolves, will not lose more ground in the top 4 race by losing to Spurs. Yeah. So the game they should target, the most important game for Spurs right now is that game against Nottingham Forest at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If they lose that game, they'll go down.
Easy.
If they lose that game, they'll go down because Forest face Fulham next, and they are going. And there's a possibility that Forest will beat Fulham. If Fulham do Spurs a favor, hooray. Okay. But the game against Forest at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is a must win. They cannot afford a slip up in that game. If they win that game, I'm sure by that time, Mohamed Kudus and the other injured guys might return, and they can have a surge in the last 6 games of the season, which could see them stay up in the league. Okay. Because if you look at it, in the last 8 games they have, the last 9 or 8 games they have,
9.
They need 4 wins. They just need 4 wins to escape relegation.
Wow.
Because they are on 29 points. 4 wins takes them to 42. Except maybe this year the relegation battle will catch a team above the 40 points mark.
Which I doubt. Yeah. Not to catch you, which I doubt.
Yeah. So if they get 4 out of 8 wins, they stay in the league. I personally do not want them to go down.
I want them to go.
I do not like Spurs. I don't like Spurs as a club.
It will be a reality check. I want them to go.
I personally, I just like it when the iconic Premier League clubs stay in the league. I think they add a certain flavor to the league, and I don't want them to go down. Of course, yeah.
Because you get 6 points.
Yeah, an easy 6 points.
Mr. I get my 6 points.
So yeah, I want them to stay.
Them shout too much. Them shout. But the question that I want to ask all pundits all the time is, what is your biggest issue with them, with this Spurs embodiment?
I think this has been the worst Tottenham Hotspur side that I have seen. But prior to this,
have there been any better one? Okay, probably Hurricane Dele Alli once.
Yeah. Oh, prior to this, one of the worst Tottenham Hotspur side that I saw was in 1993-1994.
Okay.
Under Osvaldo Adelis. During his period of time,
You are the history man. Eh?
yeah, let's get there.
Andy Terry, shout
Yeah.
out to you.
What was worse, that Tottenham Hotspur side was worse. At the end of the season, they had 45 points, just 3 points above the relegation zone. During that period of time, I can trace certain pattern of problems that happened during that period of time, which is happening now. Paramount of them is their defensive issues. During that period of time, this Osvaldo guy walks into a Tottenham Hotspur team, an English Premier League that prioritizes pragmatism, and they wanted to play ultra-attacking football. So during that time, they had something in Tottenham Hotspur they called the Fantastic Five, where they paid most attention to the attacking personnel, so the likes of Jurgen Klinsmann, neglecting their defensive structure. And that is what I'm seeing with this current Tottenham Hotspur side. They have so much attacking input, midfield input, a lot of creativity, but their defensive structure is not it for me. I think that's diagnosing Spurs' problem. I would like to look at it from Thomas Frank and then Igor Tudor. When Thomas Frank walked into the Tottenham Hotspur team, the first thing that came into mind is that Spurs needed an identity, not a coach that is going to give them survival. Coaching in Brentford and coaching in Tottenham Hotspur are two different things. And then when Thomas Frank came into that Tottenham Hotspur team, one thing that I struggled to see was an identity. The Tottenham Hotspur side lacked an identity because he was bent on what in football we call a SWOT analysis, analyzing most of the weaknesses, the strengths of the opponents to tweak his setup in the game. And that gave them some sort of tactical instability because today he's playing a 3-back, tomorrow he's playing a 4-back. So there were certain tactical inconsistencies associated with the Tottenham Hotspur side. It can be attributed to that also. Notwithstanding that, you can also talk about injuries. I think that, to be fair to Tottenham Hotspur, injuries have not been so fair to them. But we saw all these problems associated with Thomas Frank. You had to go for another manager, and then you went for Igor Tudor. Igor Tudor is a manager that is noted for fixing broken teams. But then what Tottenham Hotspur didn't really reason is that Igor Tudor do not have experience associated to the English Premier League.
It's a different beast.
When you call a coach at a crucial point of a season to come and fix the brokenness of a club, the coach doesn't need to look only on tactics. The coach needs to look beyond tactics and turn the team into a psychology clinic. I believe that one of the major problems of this Tottenham Hotspur team is mentality. They have individual qualities that if they are really stepping up as players individually, they can get some result. We are talking about a team that has Mohamed Kudus, Odobert, Xavi Simons. All these players have proven to have some individual brilliance in them. So if you are helping to heighten the mentality of these players, I think that they can get past that relegation stage of where they are battling currently. I think that Igor Tudor needs to look beyond tactics and then try and get the boys to be on their feet to compete, getting out of the relegation phase.
On that bad mentality note from a funny club in London, we would like to end it here. We had a lot to talk about, but we want to end it here. But catch us for more on Adult Talk Football and do what to subscribe. Remember, get the link in the description and shop with Jazara. My name is Lekin Ajo. We'll see you. We out.